A good evening, Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Well. Look who we got on the screen tonight. I'm glad everybody that could join us. We have Shaketa joining us tonight. Shaketa has a few things she needs to discuss, and she's always a part of the platform. She definitely runs that group well, and, and keep them going and keep the conversations going, which is always good to get people to be able to converse and to get people to be able to talk about their opinions. But um, usually we don't. Shakita does not really talk about herself a lot when we discuss and have certain shows. So tonight she has a few announcements, a few things that she's going to discuss. And I'll let her take it away, everyone.
I don't know if anyone or everyone knows, but I am the owner and operator of Swedish Charlie, and it is a baking business. And baking. I probably started baking when I was probably about 10. And then, I baked off and on for the remaining amount of time. And I had a really good friend of mine who encouraged me to uh, get an LLC, tax ID number, to just kind of go into business for myself, which I did. And I want to say it's been about 5 or 8 years. So, depending on what's going on in my life, I'm more steady within the business. Sometimes, I fall off a little bit depending on the season, what I have going on, what's going on with my children, just what's going on at work. So, I'm not as consistent because I do bake from home. But recently, I decided to try to expand and give my customers something a little bit different. And I decided to do candles, soy candles. Um, so I also have 100% soy candles that I add essential oils to, and they're hand poured. I make them myself right here in my home, and I'm offering 3 cents. So in that sense, I've expanded. I know I have some people that ask me like, "Are you baking anymore? You just doing candles?" So I just want to clarify that I am still baking, and it is just an addition to, my business. And I plan to add something else in the future. I'm just not sure yet. Um, but when you have a business, you need to kind of always want to try different things, try new things. Everything doesn't work, but sometimes the same thing doesn't work either, right? So, sometimes I'm not as flexible, or available to bake. I think the summer months for me is the worst because I do a lot with chocolate. I melt and color and dye my own chocolate a lot, and then I get a lot of people who want chocolate items, and the quality of that stuff just doesn't hold up. So to add something else to my line of business, which is, I decided to do candles, I thought was a really good idea considering everybody loves candles. Um, Not everybody, but most people love candles. And I felt like the fall was the perfect time to do that, being that people love fall candles. People love fall, people love candles, people love all of those, fall scents, especially pumpkin. So the idea of the candle came from, I offer a pumpkin spice cupcake that I wanted it to be seasonal. But what happened is people loved it so much, and I had converted so many people who had never had pumpkin but said they didn't like it, and people who said they did not like pumpkin. I've converted all of these people to liking pumpkin. So I've been making it all year round. It's my most
Okay.
popular cupcake. And I thought, what a good idea would it be, being that the fall is coming around. My birthday's in the fall. I love fall. To offer a fall candle that had those same nutty, warm fragrances that my fresh baked cupcake
So the so
offers.
the so the, so the candle is actually a pumpkin spice candle as well.
Yes. So I have a
Wow.
pumpkin spice candle. I have a pumpkin vanilla candle. And then I offered one that was there's something that I can have all year round. And for people who don't like candles that particularly smell like food. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, I love candles, but I don't like candles that smell like food. So I have another candle, which is a tobacco vanilla candle, which is a very popular scent right now. A lot of things are, a lot of, I want to say like more of the masculine scents, but they're still very unisex. Like I'm not into candles that smell like flowers. I don't like that flowery smell, but I do love fresh flowers. I just don't like the way it burns in a candle. So I don't have any candles, and I mean, and I'm into aromatherapy. So I have incense, I have sage, I have cedar wood. I burn everything. I light everything, candles, all kinds of stuff. But that is something that I just don't like.
So
Any
how do if
so
somebody wants to purchase candles, I know that Sweetest Charlie has a page on IG, right?
so I have an Instagram and I also have Facebook. So you can get my contact information off of both pages. You can send me a text message. You can send me an inbox, and request the candles. I'm pretty flexible. I know there's a few people that, wanted to smell them. So, I'm available to allow you to smell them if you like. But, it's not rocket science, especially not with the pumpkin spice and the pumpkin vanilla. Um, I don't particularly think you need to smell them. If that's what you like it, and you don't, you don't. So it all depends, but I'm definitely available to allow people to smell. So I have had people smell. Currently, I am sold out of the tobacco vanilla, which is very surprising because I thought the other scents would go first. But I'm sold out. So I'm in the process of making more tobacco vanilla candles because it has been so popular, which is nice. And what was so pleasant about it all was I enjoyed the scents and I liked them, but I didn't want people to just support me because they were returning customers, or they were people that wanted to just buy a candle because it was me. I really wanted people to enjoy the product and really enjoy the candle. So to get the feedback from everybody who truly, truly likes them. I mean, the return calls are like, oh, I only bought one, but I would like to place an order for six. I've only bought two, but I need four more. Those things were so surprising to me. And like I said, it was such a joy to know that they really liked the product. And it wasn't necessarily, oh, I'm supporting Shaketa. It told
Usually,
me that if I sold these in a store and they smelt them, that they would return to buy them, even if they
yeah.
didn't see my
Usually,
face.
I tell people to support black business, but not only support black business, but support local business. Support your friends.
Right,
Like I had a conversation with our other co-host today, and we were talking about the minimum amount of support that most of us can do with social media is to just share somebody's page. So
right,
those of you in the chat, if you're not into buying candles, which I understand a lot of people are, even just share her page, the Sweetest Charlie, on Facebook and Instagram, like she said. Share this interview, share what she's trying to do, and that's the minimum amount of support you can give to somebody, whether you know them or don't know them. And I know that the cupcakes, I'm trying to stay away, but I haven't had one. I know I keep hearing about it, and it's like, I got to be careful when I do get one. But I know that we had talked about before with a lot of people don't understand that you bake not only you bake from scratch, but the flour you use. And I don't think that people understand that. Okay, if I ordering a dozen of cupcakes is not really advantageous towards supporting. Like you want somebody to be like, oh, I need 2 or 3 dozens for like a party or like more
But
more
even like
catering.
now, right? But even though now that I'm spending a little bit more time at home, I have the flexibility to do that. So I would
Okay,
say for the last few weeks, if I've been doing a dozen here, I've been doing it because my orders are I have several orders a day, so I'm able to accommodate people a little bit more with just a dozen because somebody else is getting a dozen as well. So
and
it's
everybody that's watching, be mindful that October's tomorrow, and Thanksgiving, Christmas, these holidays that we celebrate, they're gonna be up on us real quick, and it's best to pre-order this stuff now. Give her a time frame, and she'll work that out. That's her business. But at least make these pre-orders now on what you may or may not want during these times, because, like she said, that this stuff gets busy, and she's got her own family and stuff to worry about as well. And so make sure everybody that you guys pre-order your stuff. I'm quite sure she will bake.
and everybody's been pre-ordering, which is really, I
Good.
appreciate it because I've been doing a lot of cakes too. So I've been doing some birthday cakes, I've been doing some anniversary cakes. I have a small wedding that's coming up. Because of COVID, they weren't able to actually have the wedding, so they're having a dinner. So I'm doing a replica of her wedding cake for Saturday. So you know what I mean. And I have also have another cake that I'm doing too. So if your order is in, it's in. If it's not, we can. Everybody's been really really good. I have to say, like all of my customers, people inquiring, asking questions, they've all been really really good. So I really
Yeah, I
appreciate
know.
it.
I know that you take a lot of pride in your work. I forget. I remember you did the Hennessy cupcakes, and I seen them, and I was like, man. A lot of people don't understand it. It's not just the baking; it's the canvas, taking the pride in your art. Because food is about presentation, and I know
Hmm.
that your cupcakes never look sloppy. The frosting don't look overran on the cake. It's the art to doing that, and a lot of people don't have that skill set. And I'm letting you know that I've seen it, and it's very appreciative. And I hope that
Thank you.
everybody that has had your products feel the same way. So, is there anything else besides with that you'd like to discuss?
Nothing else is going on. I do want to let people know, like, so I'm going to be on, I would say maybe like every other Wednesday. So the next time you'll see me is on the 14th of October. And I'm going to be, I should have a guest on who is a man, and we will be discussing dating from his perspective. I find that normally when we have men on the show, they are not transparent and they are spending a lot of time, playing tough and, speaking very negatively and, not taking any ownership for a lot of the things that they contributed to their own dating life. But when you're discussing dating and you're speaking about it as if you have done some kind of poll with other men versus just speaking from your heart and being transparent and speaking about your experiences, I don't think it lands with people. So I ran across a gentleman who was having a discussion on an open forum about how he's, having difficulty finding someone of quality to date and the type of women that he's coming across. And, and instead of him dating them and then complaining about them, he's just like, I don't have time for that. He's relieved that he's able to weed them out early, but he's just, it's disheartening, to be in this journey because a lot of times again, you don't get men who's very transparent about their dating process. So it's disheartening to be out there, be handsome, be attractive, tall, dark, handsome, own your own business. And then you keep running across this. And it's, I think it would be a good idea. I thought it would be a good idea for them to come on and be transparent, to not only just have really good conversation and great dialogue, but to show other men what being transparent is, and being honest is, and how you can get some of the answers that you want and the answers that you're looking for if you're honest and transparent, instead of walking around acting like you're a pimp. You know?
So, so
So
for those in the chat, this is Shakita is going to. She didn't give herself enough credit. I don't think she's going to have her own show starting the 14th, and that just happens to be the topic. I'm quite sure she's going to have a lot of different topics, and it's going to go a lot of different places. Hopefully, people in the chat. One thing about shows is you guys may not realize with the chat is the more you guys engage with the person that's given the show or whatever, the more that the show can really like pick up. So Shakita's very transparent. If you have any ideas that you would like to discuss with her, run it by her because I'm quite sure she'd be willing to discuss it. It doesn't have to be just limited to relationships. It could be
no, it could
business.
be anything. It could be
And
anything.
for those of us, I know that a lot of times with the current events that goes on, we have different opinions about different things, and I'm quite sure that you know uh, with things that happen currently, Shakita has a very unique perspective, and a lot of people may not understand where she be coming from. And me and her be going at it, but I respect where her opinion is, and that's who she is. I mean, and so her show will premiere on October 14th at 7:30 p.m. The first show is a man's perspective of a relationship, and she's gonna have a guest on the show. I'm just gonna be producing the show, so I'll be here, but I won't be here. And we ask that everybody tune in, and this is new, and we need all the support we can get because a lot of times, like I said, we don't think that we people need our support, but support goes a long way. Sharing, liking, all that stuff goes a long way with letting people know that I like the content that you got. I may not agree with everything that you say, but I like the content that you're presenting.
hmm
So, anything else, Kid?
No, I just, and also I'll be talking about all kinds of things. I believe, like, it's definitely not limited to relationships, but just discussing all kinds of things. I feel like I have a lot of resources. I could probably get quite a few people to come on and add to some things that I think about sometimes. There's all kinds of things to discuss. I can discuss my hair. I can discuss politics, even though I don't like to really discuss politics, but I can. Just like last night, that debate was terrible, but that's neither here nor there, and I won't get into that. um but
Keisha said we are excited for the show.
mm, I I've been a little hesitant, but I don't have my team with me, but I'll get there.
Yeah, you good. I mean, you good. Your team is always present. Um, I didn't. You know what's funny is I actually went to sleep yesterday with to talk about the debate, and so I woke up. I listened to a lot of independent media, and I woke up, got up, listened to independent media talk about the debate, and the guy was like, anybody that think that was a debate, that wasn't a debate. He basically was like, what did you learn from it? And we got to ask ourselves sometimes, like, what are we going to benefit from that? Because I don't think that changed any voter's mind. If a
Mm-mm.
person wants to vote for Joe Biden, that's not going to change their mind. And the person wants to Trump, that's not going to change their mind. And I'm quite sure that Keisha did some research earlier, and it basically proved that it didn't change their voters, the people that's expected to vote for them. I mean, I just won from the highlights of it.
It was
They
definitely a huge waste of time. Some people were like, I'm so embarrassed to be from America. Oh, I'm not. How do you take? First of all, I'm not taking on anybody's embarrassed. I'm not taking on anybody else's shit. I'm just not. But what a waste of time.
Mm.
I always say, and I say this even when you need to watch who you're talking. This is why you have to be careful and monitor who you allow to speak out loud and who you allow to speak to other people, because everybody, and I hate to say it this way, but I just want to make it as plain as possible. Everybody isn't as smart. Everybody doesn't quite understand, and all you need is for somebody to say the wrong thing to the right person, and they would take off and believe anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like the
Yeah.
people that were watching, I feel like there are too many people out here who don't know enough of anything, and they're watching, and it's easy to persuade them back and forth to anything. It's one thing to discuss and talk facts, like when we're in a group and we're discussing things, and then you have people who challenge you and say, why would you have this platform, why would you say that? I think there's a difference between facts and opinion. And a lot of last night was just bickering, opinions, and cheap shots, and twisting facts and making things up. It doesn't help when other people who don't know facts, who don't know what Biden actually did when when he called him out for the super predator. If you don't really know, you'll think and listen to anything. Meanwhile, Biden had so many opportunities to be honest and tell Trump when they spoke about racism, and Biden was going on about how he doesn't care about the black community. He could have easily just said, "Look at how he did those 5 children in the Central Park case." He took out a full page ad, and which I believe got them convicted. So
You
this
know,
is the very same. So like literally, he could have just spoke real facts and laid down some real shit about Trump. And instead, he was just stuttering and bucking and frazzled and shut up and you a clown. And I was just like, why don't you have these things written down so that you
you
can
know
tell, so you can say real facts?
the craziest thing is, everybody knows that I am not a fan of the Democratic Party, but one of the two things that bother me, that really bother me, that it's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like that they attack Joe Biden's mental capacity. I mean, at a certain point, whether I like that man or not, he's an elder. He's earned that right, and he's blessed to get to that age. And if he does have a health issue, I don't think that that should be used in a campaign like an attack on his mental capacity. Now,
Absolutely not.
I do think if something's wrong, he should get help.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then the other issue is the son issue.
Oh,
And I think that Joe Biden, instead of trying to continue to show his privilege and to think that a politician is above reality, that's your son. And at the end of the day, if your son is battling an addiction or a disease, however term you want to use, you should embrace that, because it actually shows that your family is not removed from the common problems. And it's just,
well, well, he did. He did. He said that he was very proud of his son. His son has made amazing strides, and he's getting himself together. Like he said, all of those things. But the problem is that you allowed him to hit below the belt and discuss your child. I feel like if I- and I this is not. I don't have a. I'm not a politician. I'm But the minute you brought up my son and spoke to him that way, I would have I would have looked dead into the camera, and I would have said, "This debate is old. You say anything else, and this is the mature way I can say it. You mentioned my son. I have one son left. You mention my son again, and I'm walking off and I'm leaving.
I
You
mean,
don't get to talk. You don't. I don't. You don't get. Don't discuss my, because you know what? We're not discussing your son.
I mean,
You don't want to wing team talk or do nothing. So you want to
it,
be mean? We
and
could be mean.
it's kind of crazy, because I think that one of the reasons why a lot of people like Donald is because he will say anything. And
But the
though
problem,
the
they gotta stop allowing him to say anything. You can say whatever you want, but not to me.
and the problem with the with Mr. The Vice President Biden is, dude, I mean, I get it. You want to be a politician, but sometimes you got to say, like, yo, like you said, you bringing up my child, and my child, like Keisha said, he's a human being. He's a human being that has battled some demons or
And my
whatever
other
word you want
son
to
is
describe it.
deceased. I lost my other son.
Yeah,
You cannot don't talk about any of my children. And the fact is, because I'm still mourning the death of my other child, you don't get to talk about any of my children. And that's
I
just
think
exactly how that would have gone. And if he would have
it's.
said anything else, I would have dragged him to the
I think
cleaners.
I think it's a I think like when some people say it was an embarrassment, I don't think it was an embarrassment. I just think it was just America revealing itself to itself once
Absolutely.
again. And we sometimes think that we're above, and we got this arrogance that we got morals, principles, and respect, and it just shows that we aren't who we claim to be and who we pump our chests out to be. As individuals, it's a lot of people that may have some type of decorum, but as a country, we don't have that. People are very arrogant, and it shows with the people trying to be the leaders.
Right. And I remember, like, growing up and would watch politics in different parts of the world. And then I would see these people jump on each other and fight. And I used to be like, oh my God, he punched him in his face. These supposed to be like, adults. Like, what is happening here? But then I watched this debate last night and I was like, we know better than these people that jump on each other. At least in a situation like that, you somebody has when you get to the point where you gotta jump on somebody, it was for good cause. At least they be duking it out for like something for real. This man and that other man was just going back and forth like children. I couldn't believe it. I
Yes,
couldn't
I
believe
know.
it.
I know that November 3rd approaching. One of your shows might coincide with the Wednesday after. I didn't
Which
look at the one of your shows that Wednesday might come on November 4th.
what show?
Your show, your every other Wednesday show, so you might come on the day after the election. I got to look at the schedule.
Oh, oh. But no, we
So
could probably get it done before. If they don't start until
no, it's
then.
okay. I don't care about that stuff like that. It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
If
But
they start, if I could just get it done and be done.
yeah, but like Keisha said, we waiting for your show. October 14th, we're gonna be sitting here with our popcorn and
Mm,
just ready.
we'll
Anything
see.
else? Anything else besides the facial expressions?
No, I'm gonna work on new facial expressions.
Okay.
I'm gonna
With
work on
that, with that, everyone, we appreciate you guys joining us. Remember, Sweetest Charlie is on Facebook as well as Instagram. Or if you know her name, you can inbox Shaketa herself. Serious inquiries only.
I
If
mean,
you
if
have,
y'all have questions, you can ask me questions. It's fine.
okay,
I know some people act like that, but when you baking, sometimes you have people that have food allergies, or you have people that just have questions and they want to know stuff. So it's okay. I don't mind asking. I rather answer all of the questions you have, and if I'm not the baker for you, then you can find another baker that can assist you. Versus you feeling like you have to seriously inquiry with me, and then it might not be what you need and want at the moment. So you might have to go somewhere else. So I don't want you to feel that pressure. Definitely, you can ask me whatever you want. And if it works, it works. It doesn't, that's fine too. Hopefully I can do business with you later on in the future.
and remember October 14th. We gonna figure out a name of this show. I'm debating. I don't know. Shakita ain't thinking of a name for our show yet, but we gonna think about a good name for the show.
Let's do
Something real
maybe
catchy.
we can do a poll and we can ask people what they think it should be.
Oh, put Keisha on it. Keisha's inquisitive like that. She's smart like that. She come up with the good catchphrases. But with that, everybody stay safe out there. Have a blessed day. And remember, Sweetest Charlie and her show will start October 14th, 7:30 p.m. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, guys.